Should have been topic number 5 tonight. Says the propaganda starts early and not even black people can escape it. What can we do? So let's see what the propaganda is. Let me share. This takes us to Facebook. I'll play the video and then we'll discuss it.
Study asked them to press the enter key every time they saw a behavior that could become a potential challenge. But the thing about the study is it's kind of deceptive. There's actually no misbehavior in the video. The kids are actors, and the researchers were using eye tracking software because what they really wanted to know was when teachers expect misbehavior, who are they watching? The study found that both white and black teachers spent more time gazing at black boys than other children. Black boys make up less than a quarter of the nation's preschoolers, but more than 40% of preschool suspensions. The study's lead researcher told the Washington Post that implicit biases don't begin with black men and police. They begin with black preschoolers and their teachers, if not earlier. Take a look at these 4 kids. These preschool teachers watched a video of them playing for a 2016 study. The study asked them to press the enter key every time they saw a behavior that could become a potential challenge. But the thing about the study is it's kind of deceptive. There's actually no misbehavior in the video. The kids are actors, and the researchers were using eye tracking software because what they really wanted to know was when teachers expect misbehavior, who are they watching? The study found that both white and black teachers spent more time gazing at black boys than other children. Black boys make up less than a quarter of the nation's preschoolers, but more than 40% of preschool suspensions. The study's lead researcher told the Washington Post that implicit biases don't begin with black men and police. They begin with black preschoolers and their teachers, if not earlier. Take a look at these 4 kids. These preschool teachers watched a video.
Yeah, I saw this. I was trying to remember if we discussed this on the show before, but I don't think we did. In any event, we could discuss it again if it's the case. But the propaganda starts early and not even black people can escape it. What can we do? So let's really talk. Let's really see if we can get to some solutions here to this prompt. Right? What are some of the solutions? Let's talk about the problem first, and then let's try to provide some solution. Let's start with Azuli. Azuli, what's it?
The problem with this is it's been taught since the inception of the education system, inception of movies. Y'all remember The Birth of a Nation? Y'all remember all those little movies that are out there? Yeah, you remember every time there's a bad guy, he's dressed in black, and a good guy is dressed in white? This is where all this stems from. And this is not only used to program the Caucasian race, but it's also being used on us because we do it too. The self-hate is in us a lot. So this thing that she showed, this, and another thing I want to say is that you hear that they said black boys. I'm glad that she said black boys being under attack since the 3rd grade or whatever their age is. We need to stop saying the black boy is the most unprotected in this world, because deep down, I believe this universe knows that the black boy at birth is a righteous person. And to let a righteous black boy becomes a righteous black man, it is a danger to the corrupt system that's going on all over the world. It's like you, even in your music, they turn hip hop into gangster rap. Forget education. Let's look at the movies that we watch. Do you pay attention that the black boy, that the men, the villains are always almost all the time dressed in black? In black cars? Do you pay attention that the most lascivious and slutty girls sometimes back in the days with the black women. So we want to focus on education, but it's not the education. Those teachers were watching those movies. The people who create this curriculum watch these movies. The fact that when a Caucasian male does a crime, they use the picture where he's not aggressive, but when it's a black boy, a man, they use the ugly mugshot. When a 14-year-old boy does something, they call him a man on the news. But a 20-year-old Caucasian, oh, a teenager. It has nothing to do with it's everything that has to do with the propaganda that was started. The buck is an archetype that Hollywood used. The black man that was insatiable, that was very sexually lustful. So education, because all the people, all the teachers, all the people who create the curriculum, who write the books, watch these movies. So the books that you read, the bad boy dresses in black. Even if it's a Caucasian dude, is the evil man. Black glasses, black pants. You think that doesn't have an effect on people's mind? Perfect example. Tracy Morgan, not Tracy Morgan. What's the old black guy? What's his name? Morgan Freeman. He played in Bruce Almighty. God was dressed in all white. So I'm not shocked by none of this. And they just did that. The same example when they did the good girl the good doll, the prettier doll and the uglier doll. Come on. So I don't know, man. That's what I gotta say about that.
I feel you on that. Juan, what say you?
No, let me start with the solution. What I think the solution is. The solution is to produce strong, black, responsible, productive fathers. Because at the end of the day, the institutions, these westernized institutions, they do their best to propagandize the children, the mind of these children, that white is right, brown stick around, black get back. So there must be a different narrative that the young black boy sees and understands. He may not have to even be told it, but to watch a father going out to work every day, coming home in the night, working, providing for, taking care of, speaking in a kind way towards his son, it is going to have an alternative effect on what the system is actually doing. It's going to have it because he's going to get two messages instead of just one. And if you notice, and that's my solution, but if you notice in this particular clip, I am not concerned about what the Beckys of the world thinks about black boys and how they would go about instructing black boys, because I already know they have an innate bias already. Because when a white woman who is a teacher teaches children, she is more inclined to have biases towards people who she is familiar with. See that white child who's in the classroom, she can relate that and say, she looked just like my daughter. Or that white boy, that looked just like my son or my nephew or my cousin. That is relatable to her. So of course, she's going to have a kind bias towards these children. But someone like a black child, in particular a black boy, and I can get to that for a reason, but in particular a black boy, that is not relatable to her. So she's not going to be inclined, you know, outside of her biases. The biases will always come in because it's not relatable to her. She didn't have a black child, and even if she did have a black child, he's what they say. He's mixed. He have that curly hair. This guy have my hair. Yeah, this little boy have my hair. So it's not relatable to her. So all the biases and the propagandizing of American or Western society is going to come in, even on that little child. If you study a history of of uh, of slavery in the Western world, there are many murders committed by white women, white slave masters, the wives. They committed many murders. In fact, they had to create a law that would lessen the sentencing of when white women murdered black children. But my concern is really the black female and the fact that she was not necessarily in agreement, but her eyes is on that black young boy too. Why didn't she see her own child? And if she did, why did she attribute bad activity or nefarious activity onto that young black boy? Calls into question. How is she educated? Why would she think that way or attribute negative characteristics to that young black boy? Why doesn't she have the same biases of familiarity? Doesn't she look like your son? Doesn't she look like your nephew? Doesn't she look like your cousin? Why do you have bad intentions when you look at that young black boy? All of us as a community have this poison within us that we have to disabuse ourselves of. And it's a work. Sometimes it's an effort. Brother Bakari say, you should speak positively when we speaking or referring to one another. That is a work for a lot of us. That is an effort for a lot of us because the messaging that we get from Western society is we should talk in a negative manner towards one another. We should see negativity when we look at each other. You know what I mean? And it's almost like we on remote control. She was on remote control when she was looking at this black kid. It wasn't no context for why. The crazy thing is, and this is the funny thing, when we talk about police and police school shootings, who is the person you consider and think about? So she bypassed the reality of most of the school shootings, with these AR-15s in their hands, usually is that little black white child. Why wasn't they watching him? When in reality, statistically, he should be the one who was to be watched the most. But this black lady was on remote control. She was on remote control. So you should disabuse yourself of that thinking and mindset. And like I say, this is an effort, and she's an educator. She needs to educate herself in a way, not only in what the system says, but something should jog in, within her own mindset. And it's difficult with some people sometimes, where you have to see yourself in a different way and manner. Goodness, man. With a little boy, in terms of the little girl is she is beautiful, but she's less of a threat. In American society, the black man is considered a greater threat because men like to control things. And ultimately, the fear of the Western world is this big black man is going to end up overthrowing their control and replacing him with himself. This has always been their concern, from slavery days, and it still is. But my issue that I take up is with us. Now, whether we eternalize it, do we want to see a black man dominate and conquer and control? Do we really want to see that? I question that from time to time. But I think that these are some internal struggles that we must answer to ourselves and question ourselves. But I think that the solution ultimately is to have black, strong male role models in this boy's life, in particular his father, starting from his father, and even a grandfather, someone who is going to create a different kind of narrative rather than what the system is going to try to project onto him in his future. But I'll stop there.
Very well stated points, everyone. I appreciated that. Yeah, that lady, whoever the black teachers are, and Afro-Native world in the chat, said clarify what kind of black quote unquote teachers these are. And I think Juana kind of speaks to that well just now. Like this lady was on remote control. It like was something innate almost based on the programming she was given. And that's a shame. That's the real shame in this story. That's the real shame in this story that black teachers viewed this young black boy with suspicion at that age. Yeah, that's tough. Maxie, you heard everything we all had to say. What say you?
Very good points for everybody. So I was that little black boy the teachers had a problem with. So that was me. And I remember my mother coming down to the school. She used to fight, not fight physically, but she was really the one standing up for me. So I've been that black boy who was doing literally nothing or not or just regular childhood behavior. And I was put outside the class. I remember I had brought some toy dinosaurs to school with me. I shouldn't have, just that was like third grade, And my teacher caught me playing with my dinosaurs. Oh man, oh wow. They had to call me to the principal's office and they wanted to put me in school suspension. This is third grade. My mom came to the school. She's like, these are toy dinosaurs. Take them away, give them back to him after class. It's that simple. Why are you calling me up to the school for something like that? Just the idea that I was a troublemaker, I was a problem for just regular childhood behavior. I never forgot that. It's kind of made me go hard with my own child when he was in school. But I think the solution is you definitely have to understand that our minds, to Afro-Native World's point, we are colonized, not just physically, but mentally as well. Most of us don't even recognize that how colonized our minds are, to where we see black people as the problem. We've been trying to prove to these crackers for centuries that there's nothing wrong with us, instead of looking at them that realize that they're the problem. They say things, oh, they do it to us because we're black. No, they do it because they're white. Let's put the negative on them, not us. Let's come to that understanding. And unfortunately, many of these educators, these black teachers, they coming from these colleges, and those negative black ideas are being reinforced continuously. You know, like Julie was saying, what are they wearing? They're wearing black. You look at a movie, who's the villain? The guy in black. The black guy is the problem, you know? So when you go into these schools, they just continually reinforce that worldview that black is the problem. And like Julie was saying, the black child is a righteous individual. They're going to naturally withstand oppression, and they have to break them boys early. They do everything possible to break them, so that way they can't succeed in life. The school to prison pipeline is a real thing. So it's unfortunate these black teachers, more than likely black women, are already putting that on these children, but they do the work of their master. You can tell a tree by the fruit it bears. And what type of fruit are they bearing? They're still passing on that anti-blackness. If every white person in the world were to be Thanos snapped away tomorrow, there would still be black people trying to go along the same ideas, the same paradigms that white people have created against us. It's going to take first of all, I think number one, we have to be conscious of our own anti-black biases. A lot of black people aren't aware of that. They'll make every excuse in the book. I mean, I've heard religious people come up and say, "Oh, we're cursed by God. It's the curse of Ham. It's the curse of Cain. All the other type of bullshit." out of that bullshit book. I said it. That they got us believing that we're somehow white. This white man in the cloud has cursed us for some reason or another. All right. You got other black over lazy. We don't want to work. You hear the same nonsense that we're on that against us. So we have to first recognize that our minds have been colonized. We've been indoctrinated with anti-blackness, and we need to really take concrete steps to overcome it. Talk to each other about it. Be honest and be open. That's how you feel. They got constantly these bitches on goddamn internet bragging about how great white men are. The goddamn divestors. The same white men who committed genocide on 5 fucking continents. But they're the ones that are loving and caring. It's ridiculous. So we have to really be honest, talk to each other about our biases, and once you're conscious of them, you can really work to overcome them. I also agree with many black people need to either homeschool or even set up schools mainly for black people. We understand that these schools that are created by whitey aren't really meant to educate black children. They're really meant to indoctrinate them. You can't even really have an honest discussion about black history anymore in many of these schools because they don't want to hurt white people's. You don't want to hurt the white kids' feelings, which says a lot about you because there were some white people who were opposed to slavery. Why don't you think those white children might identify with them? You're going to automatically assume the white kids are going to identify with the slave master? That says a lot about you. But this is the type of mentality that we're forced to deal with. So I think speaking about it, coming to grips with it, creating black schools to educate our children in is a step in the right direction. I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Black Steel. Afro Native World was agreeing with much of what you were saying. He said Baba Wakesa put me on to that perspective too. Brothers don't get killed for being black. They get killed because of those anti-black bigots out there. Right. I like that actually. He says the white hero worship I've seen is bigger in all black spaces in the Caribbean and apparently the continent too, because they only know white people through movies, not in real life like us here. That's an interesting take as well. Does anyone want to comment to what Afro Native just said?
I want to say that is not true because when the people who have what is it you just this send 50 cents to Africa, who are the people going there helping them? The Caucasians. Who are the churches that go in there leading it? So they do see like, oh, we don't have any food, we don't have any water, but these people are coming to help us. They're asking everybody to donate. So it's not just that. Another thing I want to say is that lady, that black lady did that probably because I need all of us to admit there's a misandry going on around the world. And that includes us participating in it as black men. I'm going to say this for example. When a brother wants to act extra hard, pants sagging, want to put a hoodie on, all those accoutrements that are attributed to bad guys in movies, like NWA. There's a lot of black men thrive in that type of, they seem to love to create that fake bravado. And mostly towards us, towards each other. So all of this thing, that lady, that teacher that did that to that young boy, maybe her fault, she doesn't have a great relationship with her father, her brother, her uncles. But the main thing I want to say is that propaganda, self-image. You don't control your self-image. You need to control your self-image. So that's why, even though, like Bowana said, most of the school shooters are little white boys. But is that black lady afraid of a little white boy? No. because they know. Perfect example. There's a movie coming out called Napoleon, right? You know, in that movie, they didn't show the L that he took in Haiti, but they show him shooting at the noses in Africa. Why would that black lady not do that when the men that she prayed to, the avatar is of a white man? Come on. Most of the popes were white. Most of the nuns are white women. So let's not just act like you have to control your self-image, man.
So truly, you mentioned something about the white people coming to Africa to give them food and water. I think it's very narcissistic for white people to brag about helping to solve a problem that they themselves created. You know.
But that's the thing. The people who are getting those handouts from those white people, they don't know that. They only see them giving them food. They only see them creating water wells for them. I understand what you said, brother. I don't know. But if you only see them helping, you don't see him taking the natural resources, creating the policies that are creating mines in Africa, or that's killing the economy of a Caribbean country. How would you know?
Let me ask a question here about that self-image thing. Can you build a self-image that a child could then still go to the public school system and succeed?
Yes, you can.
I believe you can. But also too, I also understand that you can build a self-image, but that won't really impact the way the system sees you as a person of African descent. You can have a positive self-image all you want to, but then if the system, if the school system is already primed to see you as a threat, they're going to treat you. I mean, really, this child, what is he doing? He's just existing. He's playing with Legos like the rest of the kids. But yet she was already primed to see them. But I think as far as the black teacher, as an adult, if she were to really construct a positive self-image of African people, of black people, then she would just see this child as any other child. Then I think that that's something that is very important. What do you mean by them succeeding? That's a very, very good question. Because many times success in a white dominated world means something very different for black people. So I think it was Carter G. Woodson said that Harvard had ruined more Negroes in bad whiskey. He said this back in the 1930s. He was the second black person to graduate from Harvard after W.E.B. Du Bois. And he said, this school has ruined me, ruined us, to where he felt the need to have to re-educate himself after the education that he received in Harvard. So that's a very good question, Afro-Native World. Let me think about that. That's a very good question.
Yeah, Afro-Native World was kind of asking me what do I define as succeeding, and yeah, that's a great question too, because obviously, I mean, can you still develop a black adult who's race first, right, through building their, the way they see themselves, and if they're still, for due to circumstances, have to go to the public school system, can you build that self enough to counteract this programming that they're trying to put on you? And I guess secondary to that is, what does that look like? I'm very curious, what would that look like? So yeah, that's my question is, can you still build a child home to have all, self-respect in the world, right? But if they're being educated in these school systems, can they still come out to be what I would call a strong African?
Of course you can, because the teachers only have them for what, 6 hours? If you tell the child that this is just so you to get that degree and to be there in the workplace, and you infuse that around them 24/7, meaning that if they wake up in their room, there's a huge poster of, who would I say? I'll use some sport like Michael Jordan, or a huge poster of Malcolm X, a huge poster of what's that lady? I'm just saying that Garvey or Dessalines or the teachers only have them for 8 hours. 8 measly hours, and they're barely doing a good job, especially in the American school system. They're barely doing a good job. So of course you can.
I think it's good to have a dialogue with your children, especially when they at least reach at the age of where they could reason a little bit and make them understand that you have two cultures going on. If you live in America, you have two cultures going on, and have your child understand that yes, you are going to school because we want you to learn how to read and write. You do the fundamental things, but that's not you. You have a particular purpose in this world and an agenda in this world that is, I am trying to make you the greatest man that you can. And school will not equip you with the tools that you need to become the best self that you could possibly be. That is just an educational institution, not even an educational. Well, let's say educational institution. That's just an institution that you go through, because eventually, whatever professional situation that you want to find yourself into, that's just a process you must go through. But that's not you. You are the best of what I give you. You're the best of how I train you, what I pour and put into you. I want you to, yes, understand what that system is, but I want you to watch me. Watch me. And I want you to put the onus on the adults, because the adults would like to pass off all responsibility onto the institution. No, 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 no. I want you to put the responsibility on me. That's going to make me govern myself in the way I act, in the way I do things, in the way I form and function, because I want to produce the best of you. I want to create a legacy where after I long and gone from here, that I could leave something behind that is a representative of what I stood for while I was here on this planet. You must give the child a responsibility, a purpose. So even if he enters these kinds of institutions, he have a little bit, even if he's very young, to understand and say, yeah, my daddy, yeah, this teacher telling me this, but my daddy say this. Yeah, this teacher said, but my daddy say this. Until he could start reasoning for yourself. And then when he reached the age of reason, say, son or daughter, what do you think? What do you think about that? What do you think about what did you learn today? Let's discuss it. Let's discuss it. Let's go over it a little bit. Let's try to go through what you've been taught, and if it's true or if it's not true. Let's talk. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a dialogue. Make that the form and function of daily life in your home. You, like I really say, the child has 8 hours with the institution, but the child have the rest of the 24-hour day with you. So who's going to create the bigger impression on the child? If you are an active parent. So I do not want to attribute or give all the responsibility to some white teacher in a classroom. If I go and screw the mother and create the life, then I am responsible for that life. That life is not the responsibility of the system. No, 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 no. I helped to produce that life. That life have my name on it, my brand on it. So I want to have some influence on that brand. and what that brand actually doing. I want to be able to be proud to say, that's my son, that's my daughter. I produced that. No white woman produced that, or no confused black lady produced that. I had more of an influence on that child's life than some crazy person in some institution. Yeah, that's the process they went through. But ultimately, I am responsible for what I produce and bring into this universe. So I think that the onus falls in particular to us as men, and secondarily, the women could get mad at me, but secondarily, the women. I want to have more of a greater influence than some white teacher or black female teacher in a so-called educational institution.
All right. Any other last thoughts on this prompt? We have. I guess we don't have enough time. I could have done another prompt, but I guess we'll end.
Go ahead, go ahead, rock out.
All right. Should be topic number 6 tonight. Topic number 6 says, should Haiti be rich or poor because of this iridium deposit? This came with a link to Twitter, I think. Yep, link to Twitter. I'm pretty familiar with this video too. This was tweeted by. Oh, okay. I guess. Oh, that sucks. I guess the post was taken down. Let me see if I could quickly. What would it be? Haiti and iridium. Let me see if I can find the video quickly. Yeah, I think that's it right there. So I'll share this. I think this is the video.
Haiti has an extraterrestrial material. Is found nowhere else in the world except South Africa, and it's the purest in Haiti. 65 million years ago, an asteroid landed in this space.
Say that one more time.
Millions of years ago, a meteorite made of vibranium, the strongest substance in the universe, struck the continent of Africa.
We have an asteroid mountain in different places. They use this asteroid because it's the remain of this asteroid that is so heat resistant that they use for spacecrafts. Says 1 ton of Haiti's iridium.
Iridium. I wanted to get to
iridium
that.
is worth $45 billion. We have mountains of it.
Interesting. I guess this post was suspended, but I guess there's this article. I think the video does enough of an explainer. Should Haiti be rich or poor because of this iridium deposit that we just saw? I'm going to start with Buana. Buana, what do you think?
Me personally, I am a fan of Haiti. I am a fan of Haiti. I'm sorry. I read a little bit, and when I read the history, the rich history, most people don't know that Haiti once had a monarchy. They had a black king and a black queen. Henri Christophe. Look it up. You know what I mean? The things that they were doing in that country, where if you consider slaves became actual kings. It is unheard of in human history. It's unheard of. When we talking about Pan-Africanism, most people in the English-speaking world know about Marcus Garvey. Little bit of people know about Antonin Furman. Few people, even though he's one of the fathers of Pan-Africanism. You know what I mean? The things that they were getting up to, it is unprecedented. And but for most of the English-speaking world don't know. They start their history with English. You know what I mean? But where I personally believe, because I say the spirit is still there and it still remains. But I personally believe that great men could be great again. And I think that that spirit is still there. And people look at Haiti now, but they don't look. We was talking about Afrofuturism, Afrofuturism, and yes, there's a lot of things going on that people could question. But I look at Haiti in a different way and manner. In particular, because I know many of us ran to Haiti, when slavery was going on, and the things was actually happening in that country. So I take a different. I think Haiti going eventually become a wealthy country, and I think that the people that exist there, because there's a whole lot of intellectualism that goes on in that country that's not spoken of because the country is mainly primarily French and Creole. People don't know. People don't know. That's one of the best kept secrets in the so-called proverbial Western world. And Hillary Clinton them really try to destroy that place and really make it what it isn't. But I think that it eventually they gonna come out of the troubles that they are in. And I think that Haiti gonna eventually show the world the intelligence and the beauty and what it actually is with all them West Africans down there and what they was really getting up to. But I'll leave it there, man. I think that it's iridium, whatever is in that nation. I think that they're gonna eventually do the things that they need to do. It's not gonna be no tourism country. It's gonna be, as I consider, it's gonna be a future Singapore. You know what I mean? But eventually, they gonna have to clear out the dusty Negroes that exist there. But I think that that's an eventuality. People don't really know understand. But I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
In the chat, Trigger Happy 262 plus. Thank you for that, by the way, Buana. He says Haiti's monarchy was in a way centered on divine kingship. If only the mixed population didn't betray the gains of the revolution and other black traders to Christophe. Let's take it to Black Steel. You heard Buana. You saw what Trigger Happy and them were saying in the chat. What say you to all of it?
So, first of all, I think we might have covered this topic before, but I think it's very interesting. Iridium is a very rare material on Earth, but it's more abundant in space. From my understanding, this is the same asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. That's if I'm correct, because around 65 million years ago, the asteroid actually struck in what is now the Yucatan in Mexico. So it makes sense that they would find a large amount of iridium in the Caribbean like that. That's very interesting. Plus, the continents were very, they weren't where they are now. They were connected. Haiti should be rich off of their resources, but we understand that Haiti does not have control of its resources. Haiti is very much, and I hate to say the term, a failed state. They do not have control of their resources or even their territory. So the only thing until Haiti really regains control of their territory is going to enrich whatever Western power decides to mine it. And like Buana was saying, I'm a big fan of Haiti myself. The Haitian Revolution was truly probably the most important event for African people in history. And I truly believe that we underestimate how important the Haitian Revolution was. Ozuli mentioned how in the Napoleon movie, they don't mention how Napoleon got his shit rocked in Haiti. And white people don't like to take an L, but the Haitian Revolution was an important thing for the United States, because once Napoleon lost control of Haiti, which was at the time the richest colony in the New World, it prompted him to sell the rest of France's holdings to the United States. That's why we have the Louisiana Purchase, because Napoleon wanted to establish a French empire in North America. Once he lost his richest, most valuable colony, he ended up selling what we know is the territory of Louisiana, which makes up parts of 15 states, to the United States for 15 cents an acre. So it basically cost the U.S. $15 million, and they doubled the size of their nation. So the United States owes a debt of gratitude to the Haitians for beating the shit out the French, because otherwise they would never have sold that territory. But I'm getting off topic here. But no, I don't think they're going to be rich off of it. I think it's going to be exploited. It's going to be used to enrich other people, and the Haitians will be left with crumbs, if that. I think that, and I hate the fact that Kenya is talking about invading Haiti to bring back stability and order. Whenever people want to help Haiti, they always come with guns. They don't ever take the foot off their neck and let these people develop the way they want to. So it's a tragic situation, I think. I hope that it would, but I do see eventually. I have optimism that Haiti will no longer be dominated and will really be able to thrive, and its people can flourish. I think that day is coming soon. I really do. So I'll leave it there, Koku. Thanks.
Appreciate that, Kyle. I guess last but not least, I guess it's appropriate. Zuli, should Haiti be rich or poor because of this iridium deposit?
Well, I don't know if this iridium thing is really true, but I'd like the brother just said, we know who controls Haiti's economy. The Clintons been down there disrupting and stuff, so we know who's gonna be. Shoot, yes. If that rare material is in your country, that country should get rich off of it. But we all know that's not the case. Look at Africa is one of the richest continents with all these mineral, and it's not rich. So I'm not gonna kid myself. All this sometime when this lady talk, I like this lady. I follow her from time to time, and Goku, that's the lady I'm telling you that you might need to interview on the voodoo stuff. Her, right? So
Oh, okay.
even though she says it, even though she's very she defends Haiti and stuff like that, but to me that's just like wishful thinking. Like, so what? Haiti has all the iridium. What are you gonna do with it? Your country's corrupt. You got blockades. You got other nation impeding and your growth. Like, I don't know if this could ever be unless the corruption ends and people start saying no, no, no. But until then, we all know that the Clintons have a big stake in Haiti and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's if they should be. And this world, it's not about shooters. Are you gonna fight for it? Is Haiti gonna fight for it? Is the Caribbean gonna fight for Haiti to be that? Are we gonna fight for us to be in control of our natural resources?
Is Azuli gonna fight for it?
Hell no, I'm in America, boy. I'm just saying, I'm with the fight, but we all know those 5%, 2% that are empowering Haiti is and there's a lot of things you see, a lot of violence in Haiti. All these things is even with the thing is I think is to keep Haitians from investing in there, to going in there to look around, to expose certain stuff. So yeah, it should be in control of your minerals, but I don't know.
All right.
Let me say this. Yeah.
Yes, I have one.
The Haitians set the pace on how the rest of the world look at it. And if the Haitians don't look at it like nothing, then the rest of the world gonna follow suit. And I understand where Zuli coming from because he see Haiti for what it is right now. Okay? But consider this. If they Celine them was saying that we outgun, we outman, we have English here, we have the French here, we outgun. There's nothing we can do. then the 1804 would never happen. So you gotta first start with the belief in yourself to get to the point to where the society could change. And I'm speaking specifically for you, but I hear this commentary by many Haitians who live in America in terms of how they talk about that nation state. And I'm saying that what you teach the world about Haiti, how you treat yourself, people gonna follow suit. If you understand what I'm saying. But I'll leave it there.
Gigan in the chat, haven't seen that name in a while, says even if Haiti mined the mineral itself, who would buy it? The colonizer is the only one buying it. They sell it and buy it. What would you guys' response be to that?
The enemies of my enemies is my friend. So it seems like in the world you have a competition going on. And one group seek to interfere with the internal politics of a country, in many a country. The other group, like China or Russia, seem to want to cut a different kind of relationship where, yeah, we can take your iridium, your natural resources, and we're going to offer you a price that's different from these guys, but we are not going to participate into the internal politics of your country. So the Haitians need to decide which way they want to go with that. Because we could throw terms around all day in terms of colonizer, this colonizer. At the end of the day, it's business. Which group want to come in and play dictator in your country? Or which group want to do business with you? They just want to buy your stuff for whatever price it is, but they don't want to get into your internal affairs. So you have to decide what you want to do with your business. Mind your business. But I'll leave it there.
Well,
all right. If there's no other last words, we'll end it there. I want to thank all you guys who came up on the panel tonight. Azuliism, Guana, Black Steel, Bakari was here. Ben Uko was here. I hope I'm not missing someone who was here earlier. Shout out to all of you in the chat. Trick Happy 262, Gigan, Afro Native World. The Matron was out there tonight. 4Kast was out there. Daily Affirmations by Pauline. And anyone else, if I missed you, I apologize. Thank you for being here. Black Steel, you want to shout anything out this week?
Oh, not much to shout out. Enjoyed the conversation tonight. I'll definitely be back next week. Nothing really to shout out, but I want to shout out my co-panelists. I enjoyed talking to y'all and discussing this issue with everybody.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming out and participating with us. Azuliism, you want to shout anything out this week?
Nah, just great conversation. Thank you for having me on the panel. They're great conversations, and let's keep an eye on those grifters. Start giving them likes. Stop following them. Stop reposting their stuff. The grifters are destroying us.
Absolutely, and good on you and Bakari to exchange pleasant words tonight as well. So thank you for coming through.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Thank you for coming through. Buana, you want to shout anything out this week?
Shout out to Azuli and shout out to Brother Bakari. We teach how we could mend fences and be men, speak like men, and resolve our disagreements. Shout out to them brothers who let that scenario pass. Yes, sometimes we disagree. Yes, sometimes we even shout and yell. But the brothers could come to the table and still resolve their issues like men, respected them big time. Shout out to the panelists who gave their contributions tonight. I think that if you listen to everything that was said tonight, you could gain some good perspective and knowledge about the world. It's not all about party and dance. And I know everybody like the flashing lights and the whole entertainment kind of venues, but this scenario makes your brain happy. This scenario, if you listen to the content, will make your brain smile. So take some time out away from the entertainment sometimes and do your brain some justice and give your brain something that it can actually eat. and something that you could take away from it and have some better perspective and insight in terms of looking at life in a particular way and manner. It's not all about entertainment all the time. But I respect the brothers. Thank you for your contributions. I'm out. Good night.
Thank you, Buana. Thanks everyone who was here. I see Jigan came in. He says, great show. Glad that he caught it. Marcus Gavi is the way is out there. She says, great show tonight. So she's been here with us. Appreciate that. Afro Native World says, give thanks for the show. So yeah, thank you all for participating. Let's make it a good one. Post your topics on the Discord. The more topics to choose from, the better. Right? So make sure post your topics on the Discord this week. Post any questions or comments in the comment section after the episode has gone live on YouTube. And, support us in any way that you can. Check out all the other shows on KWAZ Radio. And I'll see you guys next week. Until then, you guys be good. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast with your host, Koku. If you like what you just heard, we hope you pass along our web address, bittermedicineblogs.com, to your friends and colleagues, and share our show to all your social media. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts. This has been a KWAZ radio production. Join us next time for another session of the Bitter Medicine Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at Bitter Medicine Show, Twitter, Bitter Meds, Tumblr, Bitter Meds, Instagram, Bitter Medicine.